Oh, this isn't working right. Give me this. Alright, we'll leave that in. Alright, so we got our production pace weekly for June 3rd to June 10th. The thing you just saw, don't mind it. It was a teaser for what's to come. Achievements for this week. We have been to the gym for a year now. And we did the meta ad account. And then obviously we're here making this video again week to week, so that's a big achievement for me. I've been really lacking on the YouTube content creation. So this was my life insurance ad. Just threw it up to see what would happen, and I spent $78 for 2 leads, which were fake leads. What are you gonna do? But I reached 768 people, which was pretty good. Spent $78 to have 768 eyeballs. So I decided that I'm gonna go a different route with editing, with making ads. So, this is a good one, but we're going to put a pin in it for now. And then when it comes to being at the gym, this is what I used to look like. And it doesn't look like much progress, but other than my face, I look exhausted in these photos. But you can tell by my back photo here that I've come a long way. You can't really tell in the first two, like the very middle picture and the way left one, those are the old ones. I don't know. I'm super happy with my progress. Like, I'm not as strong as I was a year ago today, or nearly as healthy. I just have to work on eating at this rate. So I'm happy with that progress. It's a good achievement. I didn't do any fancy things for this slide, unfortunately, but one of my goals last week was for finances. So I looked into what I could do, but since I'm like 15K in debt, SoFi, Credit Karma, Upstart, they wouldn't give me any loans. So I found this Achieve place, and then on the bottom, some professional helped me out with looking at, I got $15,000 in debt. The program, basically they want me to stop paying on my credit cards so that a law group will negotiate to say, hey, he can't make these payments, this is the new amount that he will pay. So that'll be the $12,000. And then they say it's 48 months, so it'll be still a few years. I mean, all the way over to 2028. So I think my decision is just to make minimums and work on my cards one at a time that we discussed from last week is going to be my final decision on this. So when I do finances next week, we'll see where we're at. So yeah, the consolidation plan is not going to work out. For meditation, we got the Holy Bible. We got Matthew chapter 14, verses 26 to 27. But when the disciples, so this one's cool because Jesus is walking on water, and he's like, but when the disciples saw him walking on the water, they were terrified and said, "It is a ghost." They cried out in fear, but immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Take heart, for it is I. Do not be afraid." So, you got to keep your eyes open because he's out there. For my daily law that I liked the most for this week was from June 10th, which is this Monday. Infect the group with productive emotions, which is very true with my workplace. People are more emotional and permeable to the moods of others. Work with human nature to turn this into a positive by infecting the group with a proper set of emotions. People are more susceptible to moods and attitudes of a leader than anyone else. So, I mean, every time I'm out there with dealing with people, they just, whatever emotions you project is what they're going to pick up. And for my current book, man, I'm so bored with this book. I kind of just decided that this is going to be the last of it. But I did get something useful before I decided that this was kind of a dud book. Like, it was all right. It's just like a lot of stuff I already knew, where like the oldest is responsible, and there's the baby of the family, but he came down to personality, lifestyles, and themes, which I thought was interesting and something that I also have encountered. And he describes it as I only count when. So, for example, a controller, as he's described, only counts when they're in charge, meaning like they only really pay attention when they're in charge, versus the pleaser only cares when everyone likes them. You know, if someone doesn't like them, they freak out. And then the martyr only counts when they suffer, and then the victim only counts when they're mistreated or put down. So the reason I put these together like so is kind of, it's very similar to the other personality stuff I've gone into, where there are 4 different types, and 2 of the types kind of polarity works out to where they get together. So like he described the controller and pleaser up front, because he said that that's the one he saw most often paired up together, and it offers counsel, tips, and whatnot. And then the martyr and the victim I kind of put together because that's kind of how it lines up. And then he has a total of 9 of them, but driver felt like controller, perfectionist is kind of like the martyr, the goody-goodies like the victim, and then the attention getter is definitely the pleaser. And then he had a rationalizer, which I guess would be in the middle between these 2, but those are his 9. He really only delves deep into the 4 middle ones and then mentions the other 9. So it's kind of confusing, which is why I just have the 4 here, because he doesn't say anything about the goody-goody attention getter. So I think they're just sub-markers, subsets of the larger themes, which are what we observe, or at least I observe. But yeah, as you saw at the beginning of the video, my new book, I'd go get it, but I'm too lazy. I'm really excited about this book. I am going to start reading it and putting it up here, and you'll see why I like these books so much. This is actually going to be the first book out of the 3. This is the 3rd of the 4 that are coming out. I'll start posting this on YouTube, but I was waiting with the first 2 to wait till all 4 released, and I read them all 4 and then do a YouTube video on it. But you know, why not post now? Right thing, right now, you know? So I'm super pumped. I already read the introduction because I got a head start on it, but I'll have more to come. And for next week, as you saw in this slide, my gut has not changed. So, and it's been a year, and I'm really strong, but I need to carb cycle and get proper diet prepping underway. So that's what I'm going to do for this next week, aside from read my book and do this video, but better. So yeah, that's it for this week, and I'll catch you guys later.